Put your hand out. What you doing? The thing ain't in. That's good, though.
Dang. We are back. Episode 42. We are proudly partnered with Moon Golf in Auburn, Alabama, and 3 locations in Melbourne, Florida.
Yep.
If you've not been there, go.
No matter what club or, driver that has come out in the past month, they've got them in stock. The TaylorMade Stealth 2. They've got the new Paradigm from Callaway. They've got the G430 from Ping. They've got, what else has come out?
The Strixon, is it MK2?
I think so.
It's like Mark II.
Sounds close enough. The new Cobra whatever, Aerojet.
They're dead.
But you can get
They
it
lost
there.
Bryson. Bryson was like the guy, and he's gone.
If you're a Cobra guy, maybe I'm still hanging on to mine. But if you're still keeping up with them, you can even go get them from there. But anyways, Moon Golf literally has everything. That's what we're trying to get to.
Yeah.
And
some
apparel.
things early.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you get fitted early and pre-order, you can get it early. I don't know if that's supposed to be advertised or not, but I swung my Paradigm 3-wood yesterday after getting fitted for it in the shaft, and it's going to be a game changer.
Zach, I think it just depends on the people that you know and that we know.
Yeah, maybe it's the name.
So
BSG.
Go in there, tell them that Be.Still Golf sent you, or you heard about it.
You may get a discount.
I think you might at this point, because every time I go in there, they're like, dude, so many people have mentioned y'all.
So Friday, I couldn't get off. They called me to tell me my 3-wood was ready, and I sent Jeremy because I couldn't get off. And Jeremy said, I'm here to pick up 3-wood for Zach. They said, you don't look like Zach, which means I'm doing something right. I'm believing in my partner, and I'm there enough for them to know who I am.
The gray doesn't.
I don't know. They say, you don't look like Jeremy. I said, oh. I said, he's right. He know who his partner is.
But I'm glad that Moon Golf is on board with us, seeing the future that we have.
The potential.
And, we're sticking with them. They know what is what we can, help them with, and they're certainly helping us. So
yeah, absolutely. And we'll have we'll have one of their own fitters who's a TikTok sensationalist as well, Sarah.
Next week, right?
Is it?
I think it's next week.
Is it next week?
I think it's next week.
I don't know. I haven't looked at the calendar for next week, but she'll be on next week. And tonight we have Instagram, social media, TikTok influencer May Brennan.
We're going to jump right into it. So here y'all go.
Here she is.
All right, guys. Tonight we have a very special guest. May Brennan is joining us on the podcast. She's a very good collegiate golfer from, I can't remember exactly the college you went to, university, but it was Utah. Is that correct?
Utah Tech.
Okay. She was on the the ABC network, had the Holy Moly. Yep. She was on that. Had like 2 or 3 episodes she played Holy Moly. If you haven't heard of that, that's where they do the crazy putt-putt challenges. And, honestly, the ones where you were in it, I think may have been some of the craziest ones, because it was like freezing cold the whole time, and you got knocked in the water, which I thought was ridiculous they even did that. But you have a pretty, an exponential amount of followers on Instagram, a huge influence there for women's golf. And I think you were even had, I don't know if you're still doing it, but I saw where you were a high school coach at one time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I quit about a year ago.
Okay. I couldn't find anything else on that, so I wasn't sure if you were still doing that or not.
Brady's a resident journalist. Usually we let him introduce the guest, and then we get the guest to grade him A to F on his knowledge and research.
Yeah. I think a solid A.
Hey.
Not an A plus.
Yeah.
Not an A plus.
See, all of that was kind of off the top of my head, so I'll take that.
Pretty good.
So do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself before we jump into the questions, like what you have going on and where you're at in your golf career?
Yeah, so I am living in Salt Lake City, Utah right now. I am kind of focusing just on social media, where I go to different events, post photos, videos, work with different brands, and it's been a blast. I've been doing this full time for about a year, and I'm so grateful for all of it.
So pre full time, were you just playing and teaching, and then you just finally made the commitment to go full time?
Yeah, so I was coaching for that high school team for about 2 years, but with traveling and everything, it just got a little too hectic, so I had to quit. I was an instructor as well for about 6 years, 7 years, and I mainly focused on juniors, just because adults don't listen as well as juniors.
I'm in
So
that
I
group.
love
I was about to say.
I'm in that group when I go to lessons. I'm like, this isn't gonna work. I know what I'm good at.
Yeah, adults are way more stubborn.
We luckily get to we started a series where we're actually filming some of our lessons that we're getting from our local coach at the university. And so going back and editing all the video, I'm like, okay, I definitely missed all of this. I zoned out whenever he was telling me this. So it's nice to be able to go back and I guess recollect all the information that I didn't get.
Yeah.
But we can go back to when you were at Utah Tech. How prepared were you heading into college golf, and did you have any big expectations for yourself or any goals at the time?
I think all throughout high school, the main goal was to play in college. My parents pushed me really hard, get a scholarship to go play college and everything. So I think once I got there, I was like, okay, now what kind of thing, my goal has been achieved. So I think I had a hard time with that transition, especially my freshman year, where, throughout high school, summer tournaments and everything, you're number one on your team. And then all of a sudden, come college, you're not, you're playing with all these great players. And it's a really humbling experience. But I had a hard time, I think, with, just growing up, understanding college, it's golf, it's just a completely different mindset, I guess, compared to when you were younger.
You got to have that different switch to turn on.
I was about to say, we know a couple of guys that went through college that we've started meeting and playing against that definitely have that switch. And whenever I was in high school, it was just kind of all right, make it to the end of the day, and then I get to go home. I didn't try to I guess exceed in sports and stuff like that. So it was just kind of I never saw that kind of side of, especially in golf. I always just thought that golf was something that you go out and just kind of do on the weekends. But thinking back on it now, I wish I was able to have more of that feeling.
Some of that 20/20 hindsight.
Yeah, I'd like to have that dog in me back in high school.
I think also with golf, because it is an individual sport, that team aspect wasn't a thing. It's everybody's trying to get that qualifying spot, even if you're on the same team. And I had a hard time with that just because I wasn't as competitive as the other girls. Where when we're qualifying, they're playing mind games on you and all this, and I just crumble. I'm like, why are we supporting each other? What's going on? But
we're wearing the same jersey, same team, and that's what we did. The same thing when we play in these scrambles together. Yeah. If one of us hits a bad shot, you go, "Ooh, oh wait, we're on the same team. It's okay, it's okay. Yeah. You'll hit the next one." That's why there's 4 of us.
Where did you originally see yourself going after you finished college? Did you have any kind of goal for golf after college, or did you see yourself going like with what you were pursuing your degree in or anything like that?
I really didn't see golf as a career. Like I really thought I was going to play college and that was it. Where my degree was marketing, digital design, and communication. And so I didn't play on the golf team my senior year because I wanted to focus more on just getting the experiences for marketing, and getting a job through that kind of thing, where I didn't think golf was going to help me. Weirdly enough, I mean, now that's what I do.
Yeah.
Um, and really in college, I really thought I would be a graphic designer was kind of the dream and the goal. Like I love being creative. And now like I am kind of using my degree still with the marketing aspect, even my graphic design background. But now I can golf also. So it's been cool.
That's kind of what we were hoping to do. Like you got what?
Yeah,
Business?
I have my bachelor's in commerce and business administration. But our goal for the channel, we've been doing it a little over a year now, is January of 25. We want to go full time. So we're trying to build these relationships and just grow and grind right now and figure out what works, what doesn't. Follow like successful influence like yourself, foreplay, no laying up. People who've set like the mold for what it takes to do it 9 to 5 this instead of sit at a desk.
Yeah, for me, like that transition was really scary, where you have a comfortable, job, and then you make that switch to full time. But no regrets. It's been awesome.
Yeah, I think that's one of the scariest things. Like when we talked to Josh Mayer, and he was like, dude, it was like my boss kind of put me on the spot. It was like, you have like a month to decide, like, do you want to do the social media stuff like full time or not? Because I guess for him, it was like taking up, more time. And he was like, it's definitely worth it. So might as well just hit it head on.
Yeah, I agree. I always said like, before, like while I was working full time, I was like half-assing social media.
Yeah.
And I was like, I need to full ass it and try to give it my 100% to see what can happen, or I would like regret, what could have happened if I did.
I think it's definitely an all or nothing thing. If you go halfway at all on it, you're not going to see the results. And that's where we're at on social media. If we're not constantly planning content, like now we're to the point we have a calendar almost 12 months out of what we're going to play, where we're going to film.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the mindset it takes for us to get to where you're at and just see it through.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to change the subject, I guess, but when you were casted for the Holy Moly episodes, what was the experience like actually being on a game show? Because honestly, like, I feel like that's like one thing as a kid, like you grow up watching game shows and you're like, how do people even get on these things? Because I always wondered that. And I mean, was it kind of you just get there and it happens really fast, or was it like, I guess, a more involved experience than you thought?
I got really lucky where they reached out to me and wanted me on the show. They actually asked me during season 1, but I told them no because I didn't know if it was like a real thing or not.
Yeah.
But season 2, I was like, okay, no, it's a legit show. Went for it. I still had to do the audition process and everything. And I think there was like 4, even 5 different rounds of auditioning. And it was just crazy. I've met so many different people and I'm still in contact with them today. And you just don't know what to expect when you're there I'm like, but it was so fun.
Yeah, that kind of leads into what like I was going to ask next was, did the actual experience help open like new doors for you in your career?
Yeah, so on the show, everybody plays a certain character, whether they're the princess of mini golf to there's like a cookie monster of mini golf. where I actually played the influencer of mini golf. And at the time, like I didn't have that many followers. There were a lot of contestants that had way more followers than I did. But for some reason, like I just kind of branded myself to that. And I think because of that, I actually gained like 10, 15,000 followers in just a matter of a few hours after that show aired. Um, and yeah, it just jumped up. It was awesome. And so that's an opportunity, just gaining more exposure, just gaining a bunch of followers. And that's when I was like, oh, shoot, like this could be a thing. Like it could be a career.
I think that's what we're kind of looking forward to.
Yeah,
is
just
like,
that one day to hit the algorithm
yeah.
and get mass subscriptions.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite moment from participating in Holy Moly? Like as far as like the recruiting process or being there or just something immediately after, like from the effect of it?
I don't know. So many. I think so. My favorite experience wasn't like actually playing, but really just hanging out with everybody in the tent in like where we're all waiting for our turn. That's where I've got like a lot of memories and stuff. I think so. I was able to get a hole in one on one of the holes,
Yeah.
and that was pretty awesome. With that, it's kind of funny. So I couldn't see the hole, so I could not see the ball go in. So I put my shot, and everybody starts screaming, and I'm like, okay, like it must have been a pretty good shot. And on the intercom, they had to tell me like, hey, like please react better, like get excited because you just got a hole in one kind of thing. And I was like, oh, like had to not act it out, but it was like it took a second.
I saw that clip, and it was so funny because, like, I guess they cut it really well because it looked like you reacted, like, on time. But obviously, the way that thing was set up, it was like a huge loop. So, yeah, there's no way you could even see it. But I like how they had that set up to where you basically just had to pound the ball around up. I mean, you went straight up a ramp, and it just, like, came all the way back to the hole.
Yeah. And the funny thing is like the previous holes, you actually get a chance to practice on them before they start filming and everything. And you get about like 3, 4 shots to practice. But with that specific hole, we couldn't. Like there was just no time to practice. So that really was like my first shot and it went in.
So you're just good. That's all you're saying. You didn't need
It's
practice.
luck.
You just did it.
Practice more, you get luckier.
I like how the girl that you were playing against, like right after, I mean, she hit almost the identical shot and it went through the little channel, and for some reason hers missed it by like 4 inches, and it was on like the same line. I was like, how does that happen? But
No. Lucky.
yeah, I guess so. It's better to be lucky than good.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. Do you have a hole-in-one on a real golf course?
No, I don't. But 2023, I can see it.
We all
coming.
have prayers up for ourselves. We don't,
Every night we pray for it.
I just need that one lucky hop.
Yeah. I got close yesterday.
I've heard like so many beginners where it's like, it was my first time golfing and I got a hole in one kind of thing. Like I've heard so many stories about that. And I'm like, I've dedicated my whole life to this and I haven't. Like what?
I always see either the beginners or guys who've played like 50 years and they finally get one at 86 years old and you're like, oh, I hope that's not me.
Yeah.
I don't want to play my whole life and just never experience.
You want to be able to like tell people about it. Like I feel like when you get like that old, it's just like
your friends are already gone.
Oh gosh.
What's the point?
Yeah. I feel like when I was watching those episodes that you were on, the straight putt, whenever you had to play with the marching band around, I feel like, because I tell those guys, or the guys we play with, I'm like, the straight putts are like some of the hardest ones to make. And you had to make like a 12-footer or something like that with like, I mean, people surrounding you and playing loud music, which was insane.
I had like what is it called? A cymbal?
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it was right in my ear and like my ears were ringing right afterwards, but they actually cut it So that wasn't like my first putt. Me and the contestant, like we were just going back and forth trying to see who could make it the first time, like make it in the first time. And then so I made it, and then this was like our fifth try, and then he made it right after. So then we like kept going kind of thing, but it wasn't just like two putts.
Oh
It was
man.
multiple.
Well, that's good to know that they kind of like, I guess for the viewer at home watching it, they didn't just like, they made it look more competitive than it really was, I
Yeah.
guess. That means we need to start editing shots.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you for or against editing shots for YouTube videos?
For that show, I understand. Like people would have been so bored, right? Us just missing the same shot over again. But I think like with social media, adding, like just being real is so important. And I think being relatable as well. And like nobody's perfect, especially at golf. Like nobody's really good anyway. Like everybody makes mistakes. So I think showing that is great.
That's what we're at. We haven't ventured to that side because we're all Brady's closer to a single digit, but the other three of us are 15 to 18 ish. So you can tell when we're filming, you'll see the shots, and we're pretty strict on play it as it is because that's what we want to be relatable to the guys who work like us and only get to play on Saturday with limited practice time and real life going on after work.
Yeah. I was about to say, and you and Casey had a crazy video that we posted on TikTok that blew up because of
Because
you
we
being
we
completely
did
real.
hole 17 at TPC Sawgrass, and we maxed out. Like we never got on. Like it was, I think they maxed it out at 8 or 9 shots, and we just couldn't get it. It was very real golf.
Yeah.
Casey went short. I went way long right. We both chipped into water, chipped back across, chipped back at it, and then it just times out and sends us to 18.
What I think is so funny is like everybody in the comments is like hating on it and all this stuff, but really like, I mean, I think like more than half the people in there probably couldn't have done any better, honestly.
Yeah.
Because that's like one of the toughest holes there is.
Yeah, but I think like even hate comments, like it helps the engagement.
Yeah.
It helps the algorithm. I'm like, keep it coming. It's fine.
Yeah.
I know we're bad at golf, so
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
Exactly.
I know I have to clock in at 8 in the morning to do real work for now, so I'm okay where my golf game is.
Speaking of like professional and I guess even more into college golf, are there any changes that have happened since you were playing that you've noticed that have improved women's golf?
Can you repeat that question? You like cut out.
Oh,
right
okay.
in the middle.
Are there any changes that have happened since you were playing college golf that you've noticed to like help improve women's golf?
I think women's golf, like it's gotten way more competitive, and I think it's awesome. When I was younger, I actually quit playing golf during the age of like 10 to even to 16. I quit. I didn't like touch a club, nothing, because I was like, golf isn't cool. I only saw just old men playing and I never saw girls. So I quit, and then I finally got back into it in high school, and I was like, okay, like I can do it. Like I'll just be different, like this is how I'll stand out kind of thing. But I think like a lot of changes, especially like just fashion even, has been a huge one. I just see a lot more women on the course,
Yep.
just different leagues even, at my home course. And yeah, I think quarantine also helped
Yep.
as well. I mean, it helped the whole golf game, but especially like the women's demographic.
So a good suggestion for women's golf is improving the fashion. Would you say that?
Yes, I went to the PGA show about 2 weeks ago, and I was just looking at all the booths, and like their clothes are so much cuter. Like
Yeah.
I think just also even social media, where when women see other women playing golf, like they might be like, oh, I want to try it out.
Yep.
I think another way to grow the game would be like targeting college golfers, or not college golfers, just college athletes that are super competitive, but after they're done playing college, like what do they do? Like what sport can they play? And I think golf is a great game for them.
Yep. I agree with that. I get, I don't know, not necessarily bored at work, but I'll go on these like daydreams about just trying to think of different ideas that should be happening like in the game of golf that we should be improving on and all that stuff. And certainly like the attire, the dress code, and all that stuff is like one of the first things I always think of, and it's just always kind of ridiculous. But I guess you get like both ends of the spectrum with the like really super country club people that are like really dressed up and take it like way too serious, and then I feel like we see a lot more around here is like maybe a guy that walks out there with a t-shirt and like blue jeans, and it's like, all right, I don't know, I don't really know where we draw the line, but I think like it's getting a little more acceptable on both sides, or everybody's meeting more in the middle. It seems like now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I also think like Topgolf even has made it less intimidating of a
Yeah.
sport. It's more fun. And I think like especially women, like golf courses can be intimidating, especially if you're just starting and as a beginner. Um, but yeah, Topgolf has been huge, I think, for the game.
Do you have a favorite course in Utah if we were to ever come there, like that you would recommend us to go to first?
It's called Sand Hollow Golf Course, which is in southern Utah, and it's like it shows up on like Golf Digest's Instagram like all the time. But it's like red cliffs, so beautiful, like the red sand and everything. It's one of my favorite courses because it's beautiful, the scenery. But also the fairways are so big that you can slice it and you'll still be fine. The
That's what we
greens,
need.
green and regs, like it's great.
What's your favorite course you've ever played?
That's a tough one. I would say so. I got the opportunity to play Friars Head Golf Course out in the Hamptons area last year, and I think that's 15 or 14th in the country. And it was so much fun. Like the course, it's just a fun course, where it's like challenging, but at the same time, you're not just mad the whole time. Like there's a few like just fun, easy holes as well. The course was in great condition. The scene, like the views were beautiful. That's probably my favorite course.
What about a bucket list course? Is Augusta like the number one, or is there another course you'd rather play?
Augusta's number one always, but I really want to play Bandon Dunes. I'm putting that out in the universe, hoping I can play this year.
Yeah. We're definitely, I don't know if we're planning to go that far west.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
2025 when it's full time.
Yeah, it might be too early for us to plan that right now, but I know we definitely want to like experience those West Coast courses for sure, because it's like all you ever see, and like I guess us being on the East Coast, we get like we're pretty close to Pinehurst, and more like the Florida swing and all that stuff. So I guess more of that stuff is what we see anyways. So seeing like all the courses on the West Coast, we're like, gosh, it must be nice to be able to play all those all the time. But,
I love seeing like the Arizona and Vegas type courses. I always tell my wife, I was like, we need to go to Vegas, but I don't care to gamble. I said, you hit the spot, and then I'll just play golf all day, and then I'll come pick you up. And then we'll do the same thing the next day.
Do you have a most memorable time playing golf?
So I got the opportunity to play Pine Valley last year, which is number one in the country. It like goes between Pine Valley and Augusta every year.
Yeah.
But they just started allowing women to play on the course back in like 2021.
Wow.
Yeah, super exclusive. And I remember there's one hole where I'm just standing on the tee box and I'm like getting teary eyed because I'm like, I can't believe I'm here. Like, I'm just like so happy. And I mean, that course was so hard, like so hard. But just being there, like, that was probably one of my most memorable moments.
I think that's one of the things I've learned to appreciate more. Like the more I'm playing golf, when I go to a nice course, I'm like, I wish I had this at home.
Yeah.
You hate paying for like the better courses, but I honestly feel like you get what you pay for sometimes. The grass is like just fluffy, and if you miss, it's like, oh, this isn't that bad. And no wonder the tour is so nice when they play, because the ball rolls a mile. The first cut, it's almost just nice.
Kind of sitting up. It's almost like it's on a tee.
No, they're not good players. They just have good courses, and that's why they're good.
I started thinking that. I actually do believe that a little bit.
I think that helps. It's got to trim a couple strokes off.
Yeah.
Instead of hitting off rocks and stumps.
And mud on the green.
Oh, yeah.
We had that experience a couple of weeks ago. What can we look forward to in your future as of right now? Like, what do you have any plans you can share with us, or really anything that we can stay updated with you on?
I don't know. I really want to start a YouTube channel this year. That's kind of my goal. It was kind of something that intimidated me a lot, just because, like, the production side, the editing side of it, but I really want to do it. So that's something, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, if Casey can do it, you can edit easily, especially with your degree. Because Casey, I mean, he does great for like design and stuff with a print shop, but I mean, I think he's self-taught in under a year. It has to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny because really you can learn almost anything on YouTube. Like, that's whenever I first really fell in love with golf and started playing all the time. I watched thousands of hours of Rick Shield videos and like just tried to figure it out. And but all the editing stuff is there because Casey started letting me do some of the stuff, and I'll go on there when he's busy and just try to figure it out myself.
Yeah, just the time and effort, you can learn anything.
So you can count on 4 subscribers, at least to start.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Perfect.
But that really wraps.
Also,
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No. Oh, I was just gonna say I'm also going to Waste Management here in a few days.
Oh, are you going to get out there for the big par 3, the party?
Try. I think like everybody's gonna be there, and it's one of my favorite events of the year, so I'm excited.
I saw a video last year of guys getting there at 2 and 3 a.m. to get in line just to be able to be in that stadium seating. Yeah.
I think they call it the Coliseum. Is that right? 16?
I think so, yeah. That will not be me, though. I will not be waking up at 2 a.m.
Oh, man. Well, you might actually get to stand out there on the tee, I'm sure.
Oh, I'd be too scared.
That's probably got to be, I'm sure that's up there. Like, if you ask the tour players and, like, even people that just play it regular, like, without the stadium stuff around it, I mean, it's probably, like, one of the most intimidating shots in golf. I mean, especially with adding the fans there and all the sounds and noises that's going around, because I can't imagine that many people being quiet while you're trying to hit a shot. And it's funny that they let people get loud, and I like that. I like that, that's the way things are going.
Big party, but I can't imagine the adrenaline, that you're going through when you're hitting that shot.
Then just to chunk it.
Yeah, I would. Oh, it'd be
I would chunk it or hosel rocket it.
Yeah, that happened last year.
Oh gosh, that'd be terrifying. Sitting beside and you just see that ball coming at you.
That was a great episode with May.
Thanks for coming on.
Yep, we for sure do appreciate it.
It's nice to have guests come on. They ask me at work all the time. They say, "How much are you willing to pay someone to be on?" I said, 0.
I'm just glad people are willing.
I know for our size, but they say, "You wouldn't pay them." I was like, "No." I was like, "I think it's mutually beneficial because they're in our audience, or we're in their audience now, and it just helps both. Because I mean, you never know. Like when we got Scott on, we didn't know our Maddox. We didn't know we'd link up with Scott.
Yep.
And then
All the
eventually
people.
link up with Brandon.
Yeah,
like
that's
Brandon
what I was about to
Lovelady's
say.
scheduled, but
Yep.
we just got to put it in the books.
Yep. I think like that just goes to show you like people in the golf community really are like helpful
Together.
Yeah, everybody kind of rides the same train. We're all going the same place, same direction. Everybody wants to help the other person. The Pebble Beach just finished up. Well, I can't really say Pebble Beach because it's the AT&T Pro-Am. I didn't realize that they play 3 different courses until this year. Has it always been that way?
I don't know.
They
I didn't
play-
realize that till now. Like I didn't get to. Well, I mean, we were busy at the house this weekend, so I didn't
Yeah.
get to watch much of it. I seen them play. Is it 7? What's the hole by the water? That par 3?
7.
7.
Yeah.
But gosh,
So
I don't
didn't
know what I would
realize-
do.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize it because like I was trying to keep up with some of the amateurs because Solly from NLU was playing in it, and like at one point they play Pebble one day and then they play Spanish Bay, I think maybe that's the other one,
To be confirmed.
and then Monterey Peninsula I know was the other course, but anyways, yeah, they had to play 3 courses within the week, and then the final day is Pebble. Like if you make the cut,
That's crazy.
yeah. And then they
To
actually,
not see the same course.
yeah,
Like it's one thing. Like when they play the big courses, like by the 3rd day, you're like, okay, I'm warm. I know
yeah,
where to go, where not to go, because the conditions change every year.
yeah.
They change the layout. Like Augusta this year, they've lengthened. Is it 13?
13, yeah.
So they've lengthened it. But I mean, you'll get the practice round Tuesday. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? The
I
practice
think
round.
you can come in like on Mondays.
I would.
Yeah, I think for the Masters you can start like on Monday. I'm pretty positive.
I'd be there swinging, trying to get that jacket. If there was any win you could get, I think the jacket would be one.
Yeah, for sure.
Or-
Speaking of conditions though, at Pebble, like, did you see they had to like delay the round?
Because of the wind.
Yeah, the wind was. I think they said it was blowing over 30 on. I guess it was Pebble because like, Solly from NLU said that he was on one of the other courses and it was only blowing like 5 miles an hour where he's at, but they had to suspend play.
When we played in Panama City, it was probably 15 miles an hour, and it was not enjoyable. Like, the course was great, but like, with our handicap, I can't control the spin. So if you get any side spin,
Yeah,
it's
it's gone.
immediately sped up.
So would you ever stop like playing around because of wind?
From what I've seen on the internet, if you book around at Pebble, you plan it well in advance.
Yeah,
It's $600
yeah.
to play. There's no rain checks. So if you go out there, it's play or go home and lose your
would
money.
agree.
I think you'd have to play.
So at Pebble, you would just go ahead and stick it out. For
Yeah.
Sure. What about like if we went to Point and it was blowing like 25, 30?
How warm is it?
Oh no, it's cold. Like probably like 45,
Oh, gosh.
and it's blowing. 30.
You know, that's how
The
it feels
wind-
at the fields
Well, the
most of
wind-
the time in the winter.
Yeah, the wind chills are like 32. You get out like all right when you
Point's
got
different because it's so convenient. But if we rode up to like Stone Mountain or somewhere,
Oh, yeah.
or Purcell, like
You'd have to
when we
stick
go
it
to
out.
Purcell, if it's like that, we just got to play.
Yeah,
We just got
I
to
would
figure
agree.
it
I
out.
would agree. Just figure it out. Yeah, because you don't want to waste that trip.
No, especially like now with our schedules the way they are to try to produce content.
Yep.
I can't waste a trip. The baby is coming.
We didn't. I don't think anybody really got close in the winners circle this week for Pebble. Like Justin Rose won, and I think
I forgot he existed.
that's what I was about to say the same thing. I thought he just died like 2 years ago.
Same. I could have said if you told me, oh, Justin Rose passed away a couple years. Oh, dang, that's sad. Okay. P. Reed.
Oh gosh, he probably had something to do with it.
He probably poisoned him. Somebody poisoned the water hole.
Oh gosh. Next or this week, because we're past Pebble. So this week we have the waste management at Scottsdale. It's in Scottsdale, right?
Yeah. I want to get one of the balls. You know how they have those little tailor-made balls with the line?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they have the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want one of those. It looks like the trash man
Oh yeah.
jacket
Okay.
stripe.
Yeah.
I think Riggsy and them plays with them.
Well, yeah, because so Barstool. Have you seen that they have their own tent set up at the Waste Management this year? You can buy Barstool foreplay merch that has the Waste Management logos on them too.
That's the goals.
Yeah.
I'm speaking it. We'll
Yeah.
be there one day.
I agree.
It may take time, but as long as we just keep showing up, putting in the work, it'll come.
We'll jump into who you think is going to be in the winner circle this weekend. Do you have a pick yet?
I need to look who's in it. Is
It's,
JT in
it's
it?
all the big guys, yeah.
Give me JT. JT's my boy.
I know
He's
he's
due
in-
again. Oh, no. I think I want Colin.
Yeah,
Colin's been playing well.
Yeah.
Give me Colin Morikawa for the win. JT top 5 finish.
Okay. I'm going the man that is unstoppable at the moment. And no, I'm not talking about Rory.
That's where I thought you was going.
No, I know he just won, but the guy on the PGA Tour that is just absolutely unstoppable at the moment, John Rahm.
Oh, he's going to be number 1.
know,
I called it.
I know, but he's going to win this weekend too.
I could see it. I would not put it past him.
I think where he's at in his game right now and his mental state, I don't think he can be beaten right now.
I just know somebody called. Who's going to be number 1?
I know who it was.
He's sitting right beside you.
The only
He's
person
just so good. He plays everything well.
Yeah. What's
Okay. Casey said
Okay,
for
go.
his, he said Max Homa back to back. Because where did Max win this past weekend?
the
2 weekends
he
ago.
won the Farmers.
Yeah. 6, Casey said 6 hole in one.
For what?
Oh,
we, haven't got
we forgot the other question.
we haven't got to it yet, Zach. We can go to that though.
I was just reading it. I was like,
Max Home was
there's
gonna
not
get
even that
6
many
hole in
par
ones.
3s.
Max Home was gonna get 6 hole in ones the whole the whole tournament.
Ooh, that'd be a weekend.
That'd be
Whether you
amazing.
win or lose.
Yeah, well, I think he would have to win at that point,
I
unless
don't know. I mean, they could just survive above the cut with
triple every other hole.
double unders like that.
I've seen it. I've done it. No hole in ones though, but I've done the other part.
Eagle.
Yeah. No. Double. I meant double, triple, double, like that.
I was talking about double under par
Oh, okay. No,
because that'd be an eagle or
I 3-putted a par putt yesterday.
oh,
Had an eagle putt, probably like a 25,
that's why I was.
30 footer.
Hope you don't do it Saturday.
What's Saturday?
Big match
Oh,
Saturday.
yeah, you're right. I'm feeling good about Saturday.
Me too. After practicing yesterday,
I don't think.
ladies and gentlemen, I have updated my stance. I've moved the ball a little deeper in.
Hey.
After hearing Maddox tell Brady that, I was like, well, let me try it.
Yeah.
Boy, I couldn't miss yesterday. And now I know it's not going to work like that Saturday, but on the range, I couldn't miss.
You get better chances Saturday for sure.
Oh, yeah, because I'll be able to hit some.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the 3-wood's working and we get to go for some.
I hope that it's competitive.
Me too. I hope I take him down on 16.
Yeah. I mean, I want him
3 and 2.
I want him to think he's got a chance, but then right at the end we just,
You just
send him back to South
break his
Africa.
putter. Throw it in the
what
woods.
You didn't hear that, did you? It's all fun and games. Or is it?
It's all a game.
It is.
At the end of the day, good day or bad day, it's a game. I still got to go to work tomorrow.
Tonight's drop zone question that is presented by Warlord Men's Grooming Essentials. You want to tell us a little bit about Warlord?
Warlord, owned and operated by veteran Bud Hadley in Mobile, Alabama.
What a company.
Fantastic.
Um,
They offer all types of grooming essentials from beard care as far as oil and balm to brushes. Do they offer hats?
I think they have hats.
Hats,
They have
T-shirts,
They have
flags.
an awesome logo.
Yeah, I love
And
the
it-
logo.
I mean, there it is right
I've
there.
got to where now the only car since I buy or the Be the Beard.
Yep.
And Joni likes it. I like it. Dark 30 new scent. Smells good.
Yeah. I really enjoy all the scents, honestly. I mean, I don't know if I can necessarily say I have a favorite.
Apache.
I'll go with
Apache's my favorite.
Yeah.
I always karate chop Joni. I think I'm gonna scalp her.
Is that what that is? Apache?
Yeah.
I thought it
'cause
was a helicopter.
no. It's so the story of the Apaches, which I heard this from Joe Rogan the other day.
Oh.
The most violent
Yeah,
Native Americans ever.
you're right. You're right.
Like there was one story he was talking about where they would like steal horses in the middle of the night and watch the people like limp back across, and then as they run out of food and stuff, then they'd attack them. I was like, oh,
Ooh.
that's a warlord.
It is. That's why they got the best stuff. They killed all the other
No,
competition.
they did, yeah.
But if you want to, and you need your beard grooming stuff, go to their website, pick out whatever you need, use that code. It's BSG15.
BSG50.
I know we've got a couple of different variations now, but that one is BSG15.
Yeah,
The
90% are BSG15. Swannies is Be.Still 15.
Which is fine. I know NLU has like a bunch of different ones, so I mean you just gotta know.
We're just trying to save y'all money.
Yeah. Either way, you can save money. Warlord, Swannies, do it. But tonight's question is how many hole-in-ones will there be this week at the Waste Management?
At the specific hole where they surround it, or in general?
I think the whole tournament, throughout the whole tournament, all 4 days, no matter what, any par 3. I don't really know how many par 3s there are.
4. 4 total.
I don't
For
know
the
how
whole
many there
thing.
were last year. I wish I
I
had
don't
that
either.
number to go off of.
Casey has guessed 6. I'm guessing 4.
I'm looking it up right now. How many hole-in-ones were there at Waste Management in
That's-
20?
Remember
22?
growing up, you're not always going to have a calculator in your hand.
Yeah, and you're not always going to be able to type in answers when you need them. But what's that? There was something that I used to use in high school to get all my answers.
Ask Jeeves. Was it Ask Jeeves?
That doesn't sound right.
Uh,
There? Oh, no.
We just need an answer.
It doesn't. It's not telling me. It's only like on
Nobody
hole
else
16.
had this much research.
It's only showing me for 16. There were 16 in 2020.
16?
That's what it says.
That almost seems unreal.
I don't know if
Unless
that's
they're.
right.
I just don't see that in a weekend.
There've been 11 aces on number 16 since 1987. So I mean,
Yeah, there was like 2 last year, though,
yeah,
right?
there were 2.
Almost a couple tee times apart.
Mm-hmm.
But what is your answer?
I'm gonna say 2.
2. So it's 2, 4, 6
So that'd be
bits
easy
a
to
dollar.
Okay.
You know the cheer? 2 bits,
Bits,
4
yeah.
bits.
I have a wife that cheered. I didn't understand.
Oh, yeah. But that's it for us this week, unless you got anything else.
I don't. Except we got pray for us this weekend as we take on the
The
course
Phenom.
leader, the course record holder, or
Point
tire.
University Golf Club Phenom Jacob Joseph. 6'6",
230 pounds.
230 pounds with an 8-pack.
He's not that big, but he is a big guy, tall guy.
Yeah, he smashes them.
Yeah.
I've heard from the clips of like your lesson, just hearing him hit. It reminds me a lot of Ruin,
Yeah.
just that strong ball striking skill. So we're gonna have to get in his head.
I think so.
I think we need to go up too.
It's good for him though, because if he wants to excel, he's gonna have to deal with people like us.
People like chitter chattering the whole time.
Yeah.
But that's it. We'll be back next week. Like, subscribe, follow. Peace.
Peace.